Good morning from Bali, everyone. It's Anita Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy breathing and mindful actions. Today, I'm going to talk about another very important Shakti power, and I'd like you to know that these Shakti powers build upon each other. So if you go through this series of videos that I've made about Shakti and combining Shakti and Shiva, but certainly about Shakti, which is the power to do these things that are spiritual blessings that many people have not been practicing so much. And all of us do this sometimes, but we can see that it's always easier to see when others are not practicing. It's always best to start with ourselves. Are we practicing? So today's Shakti power is about cooperation. And cooperation is such a big deal for all of us. And it's interesting that this is an area that a lot of people have not spent a lot of conscious attention. A lot of times today we can see that people want to collaborate, and there is this feeling of what's in it for me, which I will talk about a little bit later in a different video. But in this, we're talking about Shakti powers. And when we think about Shakti powers, it's what's in it for all. This is, yes, I gain something, but that's not the driving force. The driving force is what can I give to help others. So I thought I'd start with this first quotation by Alexander Graham Bell. And it says, "Great discoveries and improvements invariably involve the cooperation of many minds." Great discoveries and improvements invariably involve the cooperation of many minds. Now, today we hear of a lot of entrepreneurs, and you know that I am one. Yet, there is always a cooperation of minds and efforts that creates success, not for one, for many. So when I look back, when I was thinking about all of this in my reflection this morning, I was thinking about how cooperative people around me have been. My blessings of whether people, family, friends, new acquaintances, teachers, things I've read, swamis and gurus online, all sorts of things. There's so much cooperation that's happening and always has happened to help me have success to help others. And this is this blessing of cooperation. This cooperation also begins with ourselves. Am I in a cooperative state? Now I can tell you that this happens on the personal and professional lives. So the next quotation I want you to reflect on is this one. It's by Bob Proctor, and Bob Proctor talks a lot more about professional success. And this one says, "Cooperation is always more powerful than competition." Cooperation is always more powerful than competition. Now again, this is a very strong businessman, and when we think about this, we realize that people who are successful actually are very appreciative and grateful for the cooperation that they've had. And when we fall into an ego space as opposed to a spiritual space, we start thinking of everything we've done. I've done this, I've done this, I've always done this. And I hear this in families quite a bit, of whether it's a child saying, well, my parent wasn't doing this, so I had to do it, or a child saying, or I should say a parent saying that, well, this person's not doing it, this spouse is not doing it, so I had to do everything. And I can tell you that I've been through this experience too, and I suspect all of us have as we're on this journey. I do remember thinking, wow, well, I'm cooking, I'm doing all the week's cooking, and I'm also, really working on business success and really caring about patients, all of these things. I knew what I was doing. And that was when I was married. I was definitely in that space, and it was all truth. Yet, there was always something helping us. I will say us, our relationship, that combination of energies, and each of us also really dedicated to helping the other. And this could be by verbal support, by just physical presence, by mental encouragement. It could be whatever it was, but I've always had help. And I would really like you to look at, what help are you having? And oftentimes it is, again, it's truth when we talk about, oh, I'm doing all of this, and then we can get into that wah space of, I had to do this, and I had to do this, I had to make connections, I found the places that we were going to speak, I was going to, I've done this, I've spoken to this person, I've done this networking, I've done this cooking, I've done this love, I've done this, I know what I've done. You know what you've done. Yet it takes a moment to center ourselves to truly appreciate what another has done. And again, I find that in all relationships, so whether it's family relationships, this could be sibling to sibling, this could be parent to child, child to parent, it could be friendships, anything. When we're looking at relationships, it's, do I have appreciation for the other? Most of us, when we're beginning any relationships, we're really curious about learning all about the other person and thinking, wow, that's really neat. I don't do that. I couldn't do that. That's so amazing that you can do that. We're in that space. Then as our relationships progress, it becomes, oh, I'm doing this. What are you doing? And a lot of relationships go through this. So this, again, reminds us that we're not acting from a space of love in those times when our minds are thinking this way. So I thought that today I'd also share this quotation, which really talks about how to apply this idea of cooperation and how important it is in, again, whether personal or professional. Here's a quotation I'd love for you to reflect on. This says, collaboration is a key part of the success of any organization, executed through a clearly defined vision and mission and based on transparency and constant communication. Transparency and constant communication. You know, transparency has also become a buzzword these days. So we hear it in politics, we hear it in friendships, and, you know, this person didn't tell me this. There's no transparency. I never know what they're going to do. And there's truth in that. So people did go from the space of collaborating and making sure that everyone on the team really knew what was going on, no matter what team. A family is a team too. Everyone knows what's going on, and we're all together collaborating to, oh, they don't really need to know that, or please don't tell them that. So whether people do this in a business or whether they do it in personal lives, it becomes these secrets. And these secrets are not a space of transparency. And we do know, of course, politically, we see secrets a lot that suddenly are revealed. Oh my goodness, this was what was happening. Remember that it starts from the individual. Are you able to be transparent in what your intentions are, what your direction is, what your goal is, what your plan is? And are you constantly communicating? Because there's a lot of people who just say, oh, you know what, we're not on the same page, so I just won't communicate. And what is the same page? The same page is two different minds, no matter where, coming together to communicate, whether through thoughts, whether through words, whether through actions, working together, collaboration. And again, this cooperation is this idea of a Shakti. This Shakti, this ability to cooperate, we actually can really benefit from minds that think differently than ourselves. And that's a beautiful space of both humility, understanding, compassion, and appreciation for one another. This is the space of Shakti cooperation. This is what I wish for all of us. I wish you a fabulous day ahead, and I'll end this video with just one more quotation. And this will hopefully hit home for all of us. This says, no matter what accomplishments you make, somebody helped you. I love this quotation. So again, this whole idea of no matter what accomplishments you make, somebody helped you. So for me, whether I think divine energy has always helped me, whether I think my husband has helped me, whether I think my friendship has helped me, whether I think my schooling has helped me, teachers have helped me, the reading I've done has helped me, my work has helped me. And all of that, my work, someone has helped me through that. So whether someone has written the textbooks I've read, whether someone has spoken to me in teaching, whether someone is standing with me through good times and not such good times, someone has always helped. And I'd like us all to remember that, because a lot of times we feel that we are carrying burdens on our own, and there's always someone helping. And today, I'd love for us all to take a moment to appreciate the people that have helped now, have helped in the past, and the people that are continuing to help right in this moment. Today, think about who is helping you and recognize it, appreciate it, and please do help back. Speak openly, transparently, communicate, and constantly communicate lovingly. I wish you a fabulous day ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day or night, everyone.